There are experiments that push the boundaries of science, and there are those that cross the line entirely. This is the story of Project NoSleep, an alleged Cold War-era Soviet experiment buried in classified files, whispered about in underground forums, and dismissed as a conspiracy. But those who've seen the surviving documents and the photographs know this. Something unnatural happened in that facility, and it didn't stay buried forever. In the spring of 1949, deep in the Siberian interior, a covert Soviet research facility began a psychological study under the codename Project NoSleep. The goal? To test the effects of prolonged sleep deprivation using newly engineered stimulant gas, said to eliminate the human need for rest. 5 political prisoners, labelled traitors and enemies of the state, were promised freedom if they participated in the experiment, and remained awake for 30 consecutive days. They were sealed inside thematically enclosed observational chambers, a modified bunker equipped with cots, toilets, microphones and 2-way mirrors. The gas was piped in slowly. At first the results were promising. The men chatted, laughed, told stories and showed signs of mild hyperactivity. Their eyes remained wide and they appeared sharper than usual, even euphoric. By day 5 that changed. The subjects became increasingly paranoid. Whispered conversations replaced laughter. They stopped talking to the researchers entirely. Each man began to isolate himself, speaking in hushed tones to unseen entities, or to the walls. Their behaviour turned erratic. One smeared feces over a mirror to block the observation. Another tore apart his mattress, mumbling about, "The hollow ones are coming through the walls." On day 9, a subject screamed for 6 straight hours before tearing his own vocal cords. When the room fell silent again, it was worse than the noise. No communication, no movement. The only sound was the soft hiss of the stimulant gas. On day 15, the scientists finally cracked. Unable to endure the silence and fearing all subjects were dead, they used the intercom. "We are opening the chamber. Lie on the floor and do not resist." A voice answered back, calm and emotionless. "We no longer want to be freed." What they found inside the chamber broke every law of nature. The scene inside was one of carnage. One subject was dead, his chest torn open, organs carefully placed in a pile as though dissected. 2 others had mutilated themselves, eyes gouged, skin flayed in strips, stomachs torn open but bandaged with scraps of clothing, as if trying to keep their own intestines from spilling out. The remaining 2 stood silently in opposite corners, wide-eyed, grinning, skin pale and stretched tight. Their nails were gone, their fingertips were worn to bone. They were still awake, still awake. The stimulant gas had been cut off, yet they begged, screamed, for it to be turned back on. They said the sleep was coming, and if they slept, it would come through. Medical teams attempted to sedate them, to no avail. Even with triple doses of anesthesia, they fought violently. One flatlined under surgery, only to spring back to life mid-autopsy shrieking, "I must stay awake. It's in the dark, the dark." The sole surviving subject, strapped down, was interrogated. The lead scientist asked, "What are you? What's inside you?" The man smiled through broken teeth and whispered, "We are what's left when you strip away sleep. We are the awakened mind, untethered. The dreamer dies, but what stays awake lives forever." He began convulsing, laughing hysterically, before tearing his own vocal cords out with his teeth. The chamber was destroyed. All records were sealed. The official story was a lab fire. But one photograph survived, leaked decades later by a defected Russian intelligence officer. It showed a man, emaciated, pupils dilated, smiling with blackened gums. His eyes were wide open. The caption read, "Subject 4, Day 15, refused to sleep." They say sleep is the cousin of death, but maybe it's not death we should fear. Maybe it's what's left when sleep leaves us, and we never close our eyes again. If you're still awake after hearing that, maybe don't look in the mirror tonight. Like, subscribe and tell me in the comments, what's the longest you've ever gone without sleeping?